Good morning. Good morning. I love how everybody is sitting like out there. Some are sitting here. It would have been awesome if I could move you here, but I know I'm not going to do that. But if I was in a class, I would have definitely done that to my students. So today, I'm here for Open Educational Resources. I know all of you are really excited about it, right? How many of you are excited? All right. This is, who is talking right here is NTLC, our team. We have an amazing team. We have Dr. Croft, Mark, Neva, Aaliyah is missing, and Angela, but we'll find them. So today we're going to talk about open educational resources, and I want this presentation to be more interactive. So what I did is I created this little thing. So I want you all to please go to this website, www.kane.edu/tilde HASSANMU. And once you are there, please raise your hand. Okay, everybody there? You don't no, I'm gonna keep you guys involved, so I need your hands up. I'm not gonna move forward if you don't raise your hand up. This presentation is gonna go longer. Okay, there you go. Couple more people, please, before I move forward. There you go, very good. Who else? Very good. Okay, I need two more before I move forward. One, two. All right, so what we're gonna do today is on this presentation, if you are on a cell phone, you can slide and you'll be able to forward your slides. Please do not do that yet. Just test it out if it's working for you or not. But you have an opportunity to ask question anytime. If you click, if you're on a computer, just hover over on the top of your browser and you'll be able to ask a question anytime. And if you're on your cell phone or your iPad, just click on the top by the browser and you should be able to ask a question. So, this I brought it because during a presentation sometimes you have a question and you want to ask a presenter a question, but because presenter is talking, you don't want to, just ask a question. So what you want to do is you forget by the end of the day, by the time the presenter is done, or you just don't ask it anymore because it's too late. So I want you to please ask a question anytime, and once you ask a question, it will come to my database and we'll review it later on. Okay, so now we'll start. If you know this presentation a little bit, this stuff. It's not working for you, Mark? Okay. It's working for some of you? Okay, let's test it. I'm going to sit right here. It's the Wi-Fi. Okay. My Wi-Fi is working. I'm connected to faculty and staff. So if you want to connect to faculty and staff, that'd be awesome. Okay, connect to faculty and staff and go to this website. I'll review it with you in a few seconds, okay? All right, I'm going to move forward because we are on a little time. So we are 7 minutes already into the presentation. So with your permission, I'm going to move forward. Okay, my name is Muhammad Hassan, and I represent Keene University, but Nancy Thompson Library Learning Commons. So I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you guys what Nancy Thompson Library Learning Commons is, and then we'll move forward to open educational resources. Nancy Thompson Library Learning Commons is the future, is where you're going to send your students for writing, tutoring, public speaking, and more. We are in the heart of this campus. But students, the heart of students, live in our building. You know what that is? Starbucks. Okay, so a lot of students come to us for Starbucks. We want them to come to us for tutoring, for writing center, for public speaking, and absolutely browsing the books and internet if they want. So if you could, all faculties here, I would really suggest or advise or request if you could tell your students to come seek help from us. We are here to help you, and if possible, we'll do everything for you, for your students, to help them be successful. All right, so I'm going to move forward, and if anybody has the slide open, you can move forward too. So by the end of this session, we all will be able to understand the basics of OER, why is it important, what are the benefits for faculty, what are the benefits for students, what resources are available, and more. Okay? And I know you all excited, but I want to excite you a little bit more. I have a couple of Starbucks gift cards, right? So I want to give it to you, but I'm not going to just give it to you. Okay? I want you to add your email address. Okay? And your program curriculum, and I'll wait for you if you are not connected to internet. There you go. You see, everybody got interested now. Okay, good. That's what I want. That's what I want. So please connect to faculty and staff. I have just put a request with OCIS to look into it too. They are looking into it. It should be fixed very quickly. But if you connect to faculty and staff, it is working. I'm connected on all 5 devices, actually 6. One in my pocket somewhere. Okay, so yes. That is just the portal that I'm using. So don't worry about that. Just go to this Hassan MU at www.keene.edu/tilde-HassanMU. Oh, no, don't be suspicious, please. Yeah, don't be suspicious, please. Just go to Hassan, www.keene.edu, and you got to write www.keene.edu/tilde-HassanMU, and it will take care of it for you. If you see somewhere cheap email, don't worry about it. This is just a portal. Okay, so I want you to enter your email address and the program curriculum. So I'm going to add myself too. Oh, I can't do that here either myself. That's not good. It is probably because of my resolution here, but let me do it for my cell phone. And that is the good issue that we have, because now we find out and we'll fix it. Okay, I just did it, and it worked on my cell phone right here. So that's okay, we'll revisit it in a few minutes, and I'll give you a chance to enter into this. So it just says, congratulations, you have entered to win a Starbucks gift card. Try it again, and if it doesn't work, we'll see what we can do. If you're on your cell phone, probably turn it the other way. Try it. It works for you. All right, it is working for a couple of people, and we'll keep moving forward. And I'll come back to this slide if you did not enter it, or go back to this slide because you have full control. So if you go back to this slide, you'll be able to do that again. Okay? All right, let's move forward from Starbucks gift card. And I'm going to ask you another question. How many students on average don't have a textbook in first few weeks of your class? Very good. Let's put a number in. Let's put 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 10, 100. Probably not 100, but 25. I'll put the number in that I think that was the number. Okay. All right. I did it, and I'm on my LTE. I'm not on Wi-Fi. If you want to be on your cell phone, if you are on your cell phone, use your LTE connections or Kane faculty and staff one. I apologize for this. Okay, so if we move forward, I hope some of you were able to add in the questions, and we'll just take the average of it and we'll see where we go from there. But I seriously apologize for this internet small issue, but it will be fixed. And we'll revisit if we have to. We have enough time on our hands. Okay, let's move on to the next questions for the ones that are able to move forward or enter the answer. I want you to tell me, among the students that did not have a book or do not have a book, how many in average either fail or get lower grades in their class, in your class? I'm going to add mine, and I just did, and it did work. So I'll give you a couple of seconds. All right, I'm going to let you guys do it, and then we'll pick the average. You guys won't be able to see this slide. This is only for me. Okay, if the numbers don't show up here because of the internet, I believe internet is working. There we go. What? Somebody did really put a big number in. Okay, so I really don't believe this is a correct number, but if it is dangerous. I hope you guys did some mistake. I really hope so. Because 31 students I don't even think we have an average of 31 students in a class, but somebody did put a big number in, and I'll check who did that. What? Okay. I just wanted the number for it, but that's okay, 31%. So if you're taking the average of 25 class, 31%, you can see the still number is pretty high. So let's take the other question and see what number comes up there. So this is the average of students that do not have a book. And the average students that fail or get lower grades is 6.23. That is a really high number. It is higher than what I was expecting. So now I want you to do another quick math for me. So see, the average courses that we have, if I'm not correct, is 3,000 plus average sections that we offer, correct? So every section is 3,000 plus sections that we offer. So if you multiply 3,000, let's just take the smaller number, and multiply that with 6. Let's forget about 0.23. That's how many? 18,000, is it correct? 18,000 failures we may have because someone did not have a book. Does that scare you a little? It does scare me. I'm having goosebumps right now. Right? So 18,000 failures in 3,000 plus courses just because, and I'm not saying just because, but we are just using this survey, a quick survey. It might be, hopefully, it is a lower number. So now, thinking about this, let's move forward. Let's look at some facts. Textbook and learning material cost students approximately $1,200 a year. According to Chronicles of Higher Education, 7 in 10 students, oh, I'm getting excited. 7 in 10 students did not purchase a book because it was too expensive. 1 in 5 college students has skipped or deferred a class due to the price of required learning resource. The cost of textbooks is rising at a rate of 4 times inflation. 60% of students have delayed purchasing textbooks until they have received their financial aid. These are real facts, okay? And they are scary. And we need to do something about it. I was talking to Barbara, I forgot her last name, from California. She's very much interested in talking to people about OER. She wrote her first book with a co-author in 1989 in a purpose of getting it free to public. And she said that it is a social justice issue. When she said it, I was a little worried. I'm like, why is she taking it to the extreme? But then I read these facts. And then I really thought that it is a social justice issue for us. It is important for us to understand what we have, what problem we have on our hands. And we need to find a solution. All of you faculty are researchers. Whenever you see a problem, what do? Solve it. If you don't have a problem, you're not going to solve it, right? Because there is no problem. But now problem is in front of you. You have seen the problem. What are you going to do to solve it? Okay, crickets. Sure, please. Very good. This is awesome. One of my teachers did it for me, and I'm so thankful to that teacher. I took a business class back in 2002 in my undergrad, right? And I got my first C, and I'm an international student. I was an international student, and for me, getting a C means failing my parents. For me, getting a C was, I'm not going to have no future. And I got the C because I could not read a book. That book was only $75, no, I'm not going to say only, it was $75. At that time, it was almost my full paycheck. Okay? So I got my C, and I went to my professor. I'm like, why did I get C? I worked really hard. He was like, okay, what did you do? I'm like, I read every single lecture that you gave. I took proper notes. And think about this, that I could not speak English and understand English in 2002 properly. Okay? I came in US in 2001. So in 2002, I could not speak English properly. So my notes were a little raggedy too. But the point is, I took proper notes, read the notes, still had an issue, and got a C. The professor said, these notes are not going to do good for you. You need a book. I'm like, I can't buy a book. And he said, here's a book for you. You use my book. And I said, thank you very much. Guess what? I didn't get an A in that, but still A minus. Right? From that 3-week period to the end of my course. Amazing change, right? And I'm still thankful to that faculty member, that teacher, that person who made me who I am today. I probably would have failed that class. And, failing a class is not just failing a class. For me, it was really bad. For me, I would not have been able to continue. Right? Okay, so it is a social justice issue. We understand this, and we need to move forward. We need to think about what is our response as an institution? What is our response as a faculty? What is our response as a staff member? Right? We need to understand this. If we do not, we have problem. I have a lot of notes. I take notes on my cell phone. So these days, most of our students, I'm not going to say most, some of our students, or probably majority too, are being born in a global city. For them, getting education anywhere in the world is not as hard as it was. For them, buying a thing from China or any part of the world is easy. For them, getting an education or doing business or getting a job in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Australia, easy, right? But are we getting them prepared for that job? Are we giving them resources and information that is important for them to do that job that they might get it in different parts of the world? Are we getting them ready for global education, global business? I'm not talking about global business major, but I'm just talking about real global business, right? So I have a question, and I hope you guys give me the right answer. Why did Blockbuster fail? They didn't buy Netflix. Very good. What else? If I have asked you a question already, do not answer it to me. Oh, awesome. This is the right answer. Blockbuster did not fail because of Netflix or Redbox. Blockbuster failed because of Blockbuster. Blockbuster did not see where the future is coming. Blockbuster did not see ahead of the curve. Blockbuster did not see and did not keep up with the technology and innovation. That's why success did not come to their door. That's why they failed. I love Blockbuster. That was an event for me, right? My kids would not have it. But that's okay. My now almost 2.5, he's going to be 3 in April, taught me something. He was on an iPad, and he was watching a YouTube video that he opens on its own. And he was doing something and keep clicking the screen on the right-hand side. I'm like, why are you doing that? I moved his hand. I'm like, watch the video. Moved the video once, moved his hand once. Again, in 5 minutes, he's doing it again. I'm like, what is he doing? So I wanted to observe. So he taught me something that day. And if my boss is here, please do not judge me on this. So he showed me that if you press right on the screen on iPad, it's fast forwarded. And if you press left, it rewinds it for 10 seconds or whatever. He was watching only the parts that he wanted to watch and skipping that he did not want to watch. Amazing, right? 2.5 years teaching an old man, his father, right? Please, my boss, do not judge me on this. I know it now. So, can we figure it out a way to help our students? Can we find out how we're going to make them be successful in this world? Can we figure out a way to make their dreams come true? Can we figure out how we're going to help them become the leaders of tomorrow? So I'm going to present to you this OER, okay? And think about this. And before we jump into half of it is here. But okay, that's fine. You guys have the slides, so I'm not worried. So, before we jump into OER, I want you to understand 17 or 16 or 18, 19, 20 years old kid, that's how their table looks like. With 3-4 devices, with another device in my hand, with the desktop, and I have an iPod somewhere sitting here. Let me bring that too. Right here. Okay? So these are the devices I usually carry with me. The backpack that you see me carrying around the university, that's what I have in there. Because I need them. I actually lied to you. I don't carry them all. But our students do 1 or 2 devices. At home, they have all of these devices. Actually, they carry these 2 devices all the time with them, right? Because they're really small. I lose it sometimes in my pocket. My wife finds out. Okay, so we need to give them students what they really require. And open educational resources could be our answer. A lot of universities are moving towards it. It is not a fad. It is not something that grew, and it's going to finish. In the future that I see open education resources becoming a huge deal. Someone told me about a few years ago that open educational resources is not a thing because publishers will not let it survive. Guess what? Today, publishers are providing us those resources, providing us, okay, you know what, give us $25 and we'll give you open educational resources built for you, right? But you're faculty. You have done the research. You can do it all for you automatically without any problem. So, what OER brings to us? Freedom to use any material and access to current information, events, and resources, right? So, if you want to find something online, it's available to you. And I'll go over some resources in this presentation, and then in afternoon session, I will go over in depth of those resources and how to create a full course with those courses, with those resources. So please come to that courses. So I'm advertising for myself. That's weird. Okay, but please do come. I'm serious. Okay, so with this OER, you have a freedom to use any material, right? You are linked to the whole world. Now, when I came to US, right, I took a pre-calc class, and it was very easy for me. I'm like, what is that? I did that in, I don't know how many years ago. Calc 1, easy. Calc 2, easy. Calc 3 was difficult. Calc 4, I gave up. Right? So the point is, education in some parts of the world, and I'm not gonna, here say this part of the world is good and this part of the world is good, but I'm just gonna tell you about Pakistan, where I'm from. For us, math becomes a habit. You do it all the time, right? So crunching numbers, doing all that is easy. They teach us math very early in the stage. They don't teach us English that early, but teach us math very quickly, right? So we need to understand that there is education that we may be losing if we don't link to that part of the world. And OER let us do that easily. The resources available online, and I'm going to go over it, and you guys, I'm sure some of you are already using it, and I know some faculty member, and I'm going to pick on them in a little bit. But you guys are using it. And some of you who do not know it, I'll show you. Available at the start or earlier than the start of the class. This is where I want you to really think about it. Once you create an OER course, all your material, all your resources are available to students when they start the class, or actually before if you put them and use Blackboard properly. How beautiful that is. No more waiting for 4 weeks of federal aid to kick in. Or no more, I don't have money. You have the resources. We're going to make you successful. You are here at Kean University. It is our responsibility to make our students successful. And guess what? Students are going to be happy. Right? We looked at those stats. 7 out of 10 students. I hope I'm correct. Let me just make sure. 7 out of 10 students did not purchase a book. Right? So, you are helping those 7 students. 70% students you're helping by going OER. Free or low cost? I'm going to focus much on free, a little on low cost. Probably later I'll talk more about low cost too. Free. Any website that you go to that is OER, OER Commons, Marlowe, Mason, go to MIT open source courseware, and I'll talk about that courseware a little bit. It's available to you, right? For free. Not a dime, right? Not a penny, right? It is beautiful. Low cost. Sometimes a publisher will say, okay, you know what? Give us $25, we'll give you the built-in courses for you. Give us $100, we'll give you the courses. We need to understand this, that if our students get to know that we are providing OER and they don't have to purchase a book, they will not think twice to register for your class. And they will remember you forever, as I remember my professor, my business professor. And also I remembered Dr. Higgins, my computer science professor, because he was tough. He was amazing, and I'm thankful to him for that, being amazing, but he was tough. And he did not give us a book to read from. Right? Pretty amazing. The best part of, and I'm not worried about this presentation cut off right here, but because you guys have on your cell phones or computers, and you'll have it available. I'll email it to you. Retain, reuse, revisit, remix, redistribute. The 5 R's of OER. Okay? When you go online, you'll be able to find resources. You'll be able to use them. You'll be able to download and change them as you want. Right? How beautiful that is. Take something that someone else has done in a different part of the world and make it what is necessary for the students for your class. A book that is written by a publisher is for general use. It is not specific for each student. Today, how many of you got a marketing on Facebook that is targeted directly to you? Raise your hand. Especially people in the back, please raise your hand. There you go. I see few hands. People who are on the computer, I know you're looking at my presentation, but still raise your hand. There you go. I like that. Okay, so a lot of you got ads that are very targeted to you. This is the era that we are living in. People needs to be targeted, or people not needs to be targeted, but likes to find out exactly what they're looking for because they don't have time to look around. If we create a course that is really targeted to our audience, our students, it will be amazing. It will be amazing. Students will love it because they will feel the connection there for us. Right? Okay. Now, transforming lives. By customizing to the needs of your students to meet the students where they are. Almost what I just said. Right? We will transform societies. We will change the world. We will be, I'm not going to say pioneers anymore because we are a little late to the game. But we will change the way that people see in university. We will change the life of students because they will appreciate what you did for them. And as a faculty, they look up to you. As a faculty, they know that you are their mentor. You are the one who is going to take them and cross that line, that goal that they have, the dream that they have. You are the one who's going to do that for them. And open educational resources are your connection to them. Okay? So, now it's time for a video because I need to get water. So, I'm going to give a longer video first. Okay. Actually, I guess we're going to do the longer video only.
For the past several years, I've become increasingly concerned about the price of textbooks for my students. Students who are enrolled in Sociology 1113 can pay up to $220 a semester for their textbooks. And I teach about 700 students per year in my Intro to Sociology classes. If I save each one of them up to $200 for the price of a textbook, When you add that all up, it's almost $100,000 per year in savings. Even though I tried to find the cheapest book that was available, my students were still spending $60 to $70 a semester for my books. So I started exploring opportunities for my students to access the same content that was available in textbooks in an open, online, and free environment. I discovered an online company called OpenStax, which created a sociology textbook that was available to my students for free. My students started using it this semester, and the results have been pretty amazing. Students have been very happy with the content. My grades in the first exam were almost identical to previous semesters, in fact a little bit higher. Several students have thanked me for not having to purchase a book that would have cost them a lot more money. One student told me that she had to work 13 hours to earn enough money to buy a $100 textbook. I asked the students after the first exam what they thought about the textbook in a series of questions. About 95% of the students told me that they wanted me to use the textbook again next semester. About 85% of the students thought that the online textbook was as good as or even better than regular textbooks. When I talked to my students after the first exam about how they used the textbook, I was surprised by the findings. About 25% of the students actually just read the textbook directly online from their computer. Now the 50% actually downloaded the book onto their computer and read it directly from there, so they could access it when they weren't connected to the internet. About 13% downloaded the book and then printed it and then carried that around as a hard copy version of the book. Another 13% actually read it off of an iPad or an e-reader of some kind. So students are accessing the book in a variety of different ways. Even though the cost of textbooks was the thing that got me first looking into online and free textbooks, what is really important is also the content. Make sure that we have a good quality textbook as well. So I carefully looked at the content and found that it offers virtually the same material that I could find in the textbook that I used to pay for in the past. I think this is a great opportunity for faculty to consider ways that they might cut the costs of attending college at the University of Oklahoma.
Okay, how do you like that? You guys got information there that is helpful? Yes, no? Okay, very good. So this is something that I want you to think about. I don't want my laptop to die, that's why I just put it down a little. So I want you to think about what he talked about, textbooks and the content and other resources. Now, and another part is courseware. Now there's open OER, open educational resources, and OCW, open courseware. They are two different things, okay? And we'll go over them in our session at 1:30. You see, I'm leaving you guys something so that you don't learn now, okay? So when you are thinking about OER, you're looking at the open educational resources that are books, that are software, that are articles, journals, anything that you find online, or just a flyer that is written that is good enough for you, for your class, right? So think about this, that this is an important part, that it's all resources. Now when we're talking about what he said, he found OpenStax as a place. Open textbook. There are open textbooks, complete textbooks that are built for certain subject matters. But they are completely different from, not completely different, but a little bit different than what we say OER, because of the fact that this full book is just built for you. And what I want you to do in your classes, I don't want you to, I suggest you to do it, and I request you to do that, is when we are talking about a very target audience, our students, right? When we are talking about making something for them only, we just don't want to give them another book. Take it from Open Textbook and give it to them, or OpenStax, give it to them, or other websites that are providing complete books, right? We don't want to do that for them, because we want them to have a unique, what word I'm looking for? Unique experience with you, with that class. We want them to have the resources that are available in different parts. I was talking to Dr. Barry yesterday, right? He does that for his classes. For his graduate program, he does all open resource, right? So what he does, he uses 5 or 6 different books for one course, one section of his course, right? Now, what he does is he takes, for first week, one chapter from book A, chapter 3 from book B, and then second week he'll take another chapter from another book, and that's how he moves on. All of the information that you're looking for may not be available in that book at that point, right? So I'm going to take an example. Let's say if I'm teaching PHP course, right? PHP is a broad course. Even if I'm teaching basics of PHP, right? I do want to say that, let's say in week 1, I'm talking about variables. I want to target those variables and find the best information about the variables or constants on one resource. I don't want to say, okay, you know what, this book has the resources the best, so I'm going to take this whole book and give it to them because the information about constants or variable was perfect in it, so I'm going to give this book to my students. No. I'm going to take that book, that chapter, and I'm going to say, link to this week 1. Right? This is the benefit of this open educational resource. This is the benefit that this model that we are looking at, OER model that we are looking at, this is what we can do. You don't have to take one book and just say, okay, you know what, use that book. Now, questions and other material, that is a bigger concern. They are available too. May not be to your liking, but guess what? You have an opportunity to create your own questions and answers and put them on the web and share that with the world. And when you share, guess what? Who's being famous? You. People are saying, I'm taking it from someone in Asia saying, hey, I'm using the questions that were made by someone sitting in Union County College, or someone in Keene University, or someone in Middlesex County College. Faculty name is out there too. These resources, open educational resources, Merlot, and I'm going to talk about library.kane.edu, and Kuriki. I don't know how to pronounce it. You guys can figure it out. These resources, you click on it, you search something, and it gives you everything that is open educational resource. And now, if you are building something, that will be part of that. Okay, so we have to start thinking about how we're going to create the resources and how we're going to give it and share it to people. Now, OpenCourseWare. MIT has it, Harvard has it, and other universities have it. Some other companies who are nonprofit organizations have built up open educational resources or open educational OpenCourseWare. So the full course is available. And if you click on all resources, I believe, no, actually probably the link is broken there, but if you go to, I'll give you the link at the end of the slide. So it's libguides.kane.edu/OER. So if you go there, you will see a lot of resources, open educational resources, OpenCourseWare. And you'll be able to see that MIT has built up a course. So the model, that OCW model, OpenCourseWare model, is where people, these schools have built the full course, faculty along with the staff members like OCIS and all, they built up a course, right? Full course that students can take it. Just they can go online and take it. This is the beauty that we are. Education is our right. We need to get educated. We need our students to get education. We need to find ways to be innovative. We need to find ways what other people don't have done it yet. Right? As I said, I can't say that we are going to be at university, we're going to be pioneers, but guess what? We can be pioneers. Let's figure out another beautiful way to help our students. So that somebody, if they are presenting around the world, their library.kane.edu is there. So that people say, you know what, Kane.edu has the resources, has a new way to figure out and give education to students. and we'll talk about it. And I want you guys, if you possible, please reach out to me, and I will provide my email address again. Or if you have registered, you will get an email by Monday from me saying thank you. But I want you to think about this, that we have to come up with a way to help students, right? All right, so let's move forward. And I think I want to ask myself a question. Okay. Keen faculty that is going OER. There is a lot of faculty that is going OER. I have not a lot, but there's a lot of faculty that is already not using the book. They're already using some open educational resources, right? They're not using the book. If you are one of those, please talk to me. That way we can put your name out there. Maria, she's using bioinformatics course that is going OER. We have Professor Hassan from Graduate College. He's going OER. Dr. Barry, he's going OER. And there's one more professor. I forgot her name. She's gonna kill me if she's here. From general education. I forgot her name. Sorry? Economics. She's going OER. So this is just so beautiful that we have so many people from Kean are going OER. We all need to start thinking about it. We all need to meet in a group probably and say, okay, you know what, how can we do that? And that 130 session that we have is one of those, that we're gonna figure out a way to use the resources that are available already to make something good for us and probably think about the future too. Okay. And if you want to go OER in spring, I know it's too late, but it is possible. If you're using your book only as, hey, if you want to buy a book, please go buy it, but it's not there. It's not, it's just there for students to see it. If you are one of those faculty members, please, let's talk. Maybe we can just take that book out and just say, hey, it's going OER. It's completely OER. There is no book required. So please talk to me. Okay, and it is a process, right? It is not going to happen in one day. I feel bad if I don't have a cell phone because my slides are here. Okay, so it is a process. It's not going to happen in a day. It's not, if you're building up a course from scratch, that is going to go OER. It is going to take a lot of research. But this is not new for you. You're a faculty. You have been doing research for very long. It's just now that this research has to come up into a different way. It needs to help students in a different way. It's already helping. You are the researcher. You are the one who is helping students. Students look up to you, right? Students come to class for you. I know faculty members that are, it's still 9:50 and I see a lot of people moving around. Am I boring you guys? Okay, I can do a dance if you want. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. All right, so, where was I? No, before the dance. Yes. Absolutely. I'm going to be talking about it in a few seconds. Actually, and in detail, I'm going to be talking in the next session of 1:30, but I'll give you just a little bit option now so that you guys have it. So we're going to do research if you're creating from scratch. You're going to build up on what you have already, the research that you have, because you know what you're talking about. You have done this, you have PhDs, you have doctorate degrees, you know exactly what you're doing, right? You just need to take that, put it into place, take the resources from outside, or just use your own knowledge, right? How many of you have written a book or want to write a book? Want to write a book? Nobody wants to write a book? I want to write a book. Right, okay. I know, this went very wrong. I was hoping everybody would raise their hand when I say, who wants to write a book? But it's okay. It's okay. I know you don't want to write a book, but what we can do is the resources that you have, the knowledge that you have, build the course out of that. Use the resources that I'm going to show you, use those resources, remix, and then redistribute. Sharing is caring, right? So let's share the knowledge that you have with our students and with the students outside. Now, that comes into a part of licensing our information. How are we going to really make sure the information that we have is protected, or the information that we are taking from the web is protected. So in detail, again, we'll go in 130 session. But what I want to do is Creative Commons is a website that does this licensing for us. We can take those and put them there and check the licensing if we have to. Creative Commons. All right, we'll go over Creative Commons at 1:30, but look into Creative Commons, right? They are amazing. They are a nonprofit organization. They are doing a great job. So we need to think about how we can take Creative Commons and put it into our resources. So let's say if you want to create your own course, you'll say this, you create whatever and whatever licensing you think. So let's say if you want people to look at it but don't download it, you can put that mark there and you can license it there. But by default, when you write something, it is already licensed to you or copyrighted to you. But if you want people to know that, you can just put that marker there. You're good to go. You're protected in that sense. But you are protected the time that you start typing. You're protected from that moment. But, okay, so what was it talking about? I'm forgetting. I think I need water, right? Yes, please. Yes. Very Very good. Okay. 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 Very good question, right? So first, how do we find time to do this? How are we gonna create this difficult problems, the questions and answers for that? And how are we gonna develop our own course? Let me answer it this way. First, it's a research, it is time taking. So I'm not gonna say it is not time taking, or we have to figure out a way to do that. Second is open educational resources are not just the books. There are millions of resources out there. If you go to Merlot or Mason, or there's another website that is out there that is Oasis. That is it is searching 52 different websites. Mason website does from millions of other websites. So it is possible to find something out there because someone has created. Is it time taking? Absolutely, right? But it is out there. But then there's another point too. Now that point is, if we work together, right? If we are not saying we just need to take resources, let's work together to create like a whole database of questions for us that will be shared with the math faculty. If it's only about math, if it's biology, about biology faculty, it's open source. If you put them somewhere, let's say Google Drive. save it there. Let's share it. Over the time period, it will become bigger. I'm not saying we're gonna go open source right away or it's gonna happen, but it has to happen because we want to help people. Can every course go online? Could get open source? Probably not, but it is possible. We need to think about it. Yes. I think I will take those questions to provost office. I won't be able to answer those questions here, but what I can answer you, right, is if you are doing that, let's forget about sharing there, okay? Let's think about that course that you're teaching. If you're gonna teach that course with your material, that is helpful for students. Not buying a book, using your course material, why not, right? So think about that course. I want you to think about those students that are out there in front of you. If you're happy providing your material to them, I think that's all that matters. What matters is how we are helping students, right? So let's focus on those students. Okay, so now let's go here. All right, so I'm gonna go here. This is now formally your chance. I hope the internet is working now. Formally your chance to publish your question. If you go to this slide, the next slide on your on this platform, you'll be able to ask a question formally, or you can just go whichever slide you are, just click on top and search it. Yes. Oh, sorry. Sure, please. I'm looking into those too, but also there are question banks on open source that are available that you can look at it. But also I want you to think about, let's say so let's say fall, spring 2019, we start building up questions, 5 questions, 6 questions, 10 questions a semester, one faculty at a time, and build up in a database. Over the time, they will become a huge database. So this is what open source is doing too. They're building it together. Though they have global power behind them, but here we're just talking about Kane. So it is possible, and let's talk more about it later on, but I think it is definitely possible. There is, okay. So I will show you a way where you can start writing the stuff on OER Commons. They have a lot of OER Commons, and there are a couple of others too. There you can start writing stuff there that will start being published as you write, but you can definitely start adding stuff in it. As it's open resource, there is not specific team of people that is going to sit and tell you how to do it and all that. They're not going to get into depth of that. But yes, it is possible with the resources that are available. Okay, so let me pull some questions if you have asked them. Okay, I think I can pull them better on my... Okay, are you suggesting that we should have students use the kind of interface for their classroom interaction beyond real-time polling, content delivery, what features are worthwhile, and go beyond even those of some platform like Google Classroom? I'm not suggesting anything. I want you to think about what you can do for your students. Yes, it is important that we have an interactive system, but there are open resources available for the platforms like that too, that you can interact with them. But if you're talking about resources, absolutely use open educational resources. Yes. Very good question, and I love it because it's not directly related to OER, but it is related to tutoring, part of NTLC, and that's why I'll answer it too. The way that we are looking at future of tutoring, currently we are making videos of the problems. They're going to be online. What we are doing is we are providing resources of common problems that students have. We have looked at the data that previously students have come for, and looking at the data, we have created questions and answers and videos, and we are developing it as it goes. So spring 2019, we're going to take them to develop it, and then we're going to soft launch in summer, or we'll see how it goes. But slowly, you're going to start seeing more videos coming up. So any students anywhere sitting in a dorm room at their house, they will click on that video. I'm having a problem finding a slope. Boom, click on it. You have the whole video in front of you. Yeah. That's why we want to have, and we have an action network that we're trying to reach out to every faculty, and you will probably hear from me or from our coordinator of tutoring, Jackie Langley, or from Mark Sapera, or from Writing Center Director Angela Sides, that we are needing your help to develop those together so that we don't do anything wrong for our students. Very good question. What kind of help can the Learning Commons give ESL students, Spanish-speaking students? It is again, great question. Writing Center is reaching out to ESL department on campus. There is an ESL department, if I'm not wrong, but Writing Center has reached out to them. And if an ESL student comes to Writing Center, we are helping them, whatever help you need from us. What are the copyright rules for putting chapter of text into learning environment like Blackboard? Is there an age of text when he might be able to put more chapters in Blackboard? Copyright is a very tricky question, right? So any material that is out there is copyrighted if it is not in public domain, right? If you find it in public domain, or if it is out there, you need to look at the resources that how it is licensed. It might be Creative Commons license that is being used, or if it is coming directly from publisher. If you're talking about a book that is coming from publisher, they have the right on it. So now we have to really look at the book, look at something. That copyright issue is very deep, so you don't want to get into that part just like this. So I really want you to think about when you are looking at online, if you want to add some stuff in Blackboard, don't just copy it, turn it into a PDF, and attach it there. If you did not find it in open resource. If it's just a book that you received from your publisher and you want your students to have a free book, then let's figure out a different way, not a book that publisher has published it. You cannot just make a PDF of it and connect the students with it, or give them just printed copies. If students are carrying all of those expensive devices, perhaps it is prioritization choice not to buy a textbook. So this is a very good question. Students do not carry all of these devices, but they do have them. They do use them, right? The priority for them is to get the knowledge from outside world. Now, the time that I learned, actually before that too, when I learned it was internet too, but not that fast, but before that too, every age is different, right? The way that we are learning today, we are more like a middle person. The knowledge is out there, we are in the middle, and we have students. Students want knowledge. If we do not give it to them, they will find it, right? So if we are not filtering that knowledge for them, it's bad, because they're going to take any knowledge, any information that they get, and then think that is true. It is like, a student walks into an atrium where there are 5 different credit card companies, and they are freshmen or whatever, they can apply for all of them, all the credit cards. Is it a good idea? No. If you are a parent or you're a teacher, what should you tell them? Or if you're their finance person, don't get all the credit cards, right? So we are faculty. We need to understand that we need to give proper information. These devices are getting them connected to the global world. They're not going to give up their devices. They'll find a different device. Today, a student who cannot buy a book will buy a new cell phone because they want to stay connected to the world. Okay? You will still see iPhone is going a little down, but other phones, right? You will still see the line there, a huge line for them to buy a new iPhone, because students want to be connected to the whole world. We need to provide them resources that are out there, filter them, and give it to them. Okay? So this is our responsibility, and let's do it right. Textbook. Choice is not to prioritize, choice not to buy textbook. Now, when it comes to student choice, as I said, students want information. So we need to figure out the right way for them. So we need to help them make a better choice, because they are looking up to us to give them that choice. Okay. All right. So this is time for the win big, right? Who is happy about this part? If you put your email address, you should be happy. If you didn't, oh my God, that's not good. But if you didn't put your email address, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. Not a couple of minutes, I'll give you 30 seconds to go back to that slide, because I know that internet is working now. So go back to that slide and put your email address quickly. Sorry? Sure, please do that. If you click on tab right now, or anytime. Oh, you can? Oh, you want to just ask a question? Oh, please. Very good point. Very good question too. Open resource, again, it is a very, very broad community. The community that is sitting in different parts of the world, and every university is facing the same problems that we are facing. The answers and questions, the homeworks and all that. And people are working on it. If you go online, there are going to be resources that are available that you can use to just say, hey, if somebody fills this form up, if somebody registered to it, a questionnaire will be sent to them. People have worked on it. Do I say they are the perfect systems at this time? No, but you can use them. They're out there. Do we have to figure out another way? Absolutely. That's why we are here, to figure out the best way. MIT won an award for a system called KIRON that they developed for, I believe, the people who are coming to Germany for asylum. They developed it for them to get an education, right? If I'm not wrong, probably I took the country's name wrong, but it is KIRON system. They developed it. They won the award to develop it for them. What if we come up with that kind of system? Not that kind of system, but some system. The problem that we have, let's solve it together. Okay? Very good question. Okay, so I'm going to press this button now. Okay, let's see who went, okay? I wish I had the drum roll. Oh, Dr. Croft, my boss, won. It is rigged. It is rigged. I don't want you to be worried about it. I did it on purpose. It is rigged. Okay, let's go to let's do it right way, okay? It will be funny because I registered too. It will be funny if my name shows up there. But please forgive me if mine shows up. I'll press it again. I don't know who that is, but please raise your hand. There you go. Here's a gift card for you, sir. All right, we're just going to do one person. I'll go broke if I do that. Okay, I hope I have answered all of your questions. I know we're a little bit early, but probably you'll be happy. Yes, please. I said the same thing. Very good. I said the same thing to myself when I started researching on OER, right? I said exactly the same. I'm like, we are spending so much money, then what about this $50 or even $35? But then I realized where I was when I was a student, right? I realized that $60, okay, it's gonna get emotional for me because it is very emotional for me and it is very personal for me. That's why I call it social justice. So when I was in college, right, I had to decide if I want to pay for $5 for my meal or I want to call back home. At that time, calls were expensive. I did not call home, I ate food, right? Because I knew my parents would understand, right? Students have a different situation. Every penny that I used to make used to go in my tuition. If you're taking loan or federal aid, it is a different issue too. Federal aid may not kick in for first few weeks. That's why they may not be able to buy that book the first few weeks. If they are taking a loan, they might not take the full loan. They might say, okay, you know what, let me cut back on these books. If they're taking a personal loan or something. If their parents are taking a loan, maybe I'm a good kid. I just don't want to put pressure on my parents to buy a book. That's why I live off campus and I do work 24/7 just so that I have little money to save. And if you think about it, right, with all the expenses we have, and I hope everybody's getting paid good amount of money, but students, if they are getting paid $10 an hour, right? If they work 40 hours, let's say if they work 40 hours and they are getting $10, that's probably not the case. But I'm taking a bigger number, right? So $400 a week if they are working 40 hours. Cut the taxes. They are single, they're young. Cut the taxes. Now let's think about that $60 matters to them or not. $60 is like a good book, lower number. We have books that comes in hundreds of dollars. Right? So we have to start thinking differently. And I know now when I grow up, right? When I was buying my first GPS and I was really happy about it, that was $110 TomTom, right? Back, I don't know when. It was a big purchase for me. But it was necessary, so I had to save money for that, and I bought it. Today, I go buy a phone and I'm like, it's pretty cheap, like $500, $700. Which one is cheaper? Right? And I buy 500 because 700 is more for me. So as we grow our financial, that gap or whatever you want to call it, the financial age, we get better in our finances, the money becomes that way, and we see this that way. If you talk to a very rich person, I was looking at a stat for Jeff, the Amazon CEO. I don't know about it now, but before the whole divorce thingy, right? The $1 for us is 88,000 for him, right? So as we grow, our thinking change. We have to think about how, in a manner of our students. We have to think like students. We not while teaching. We have to think like us when we're teaching. But when we are finding a solution for students, we have to find it for them. We have to think that how students live today, and what students we have in our class. That is the benefit of OER. You don't take a book that is $135 or $200. That is the best book on earth. You take resources that are for the students that are in your class. You make them the beautiful resources for your students. Okay? I hope I answered your question. Yes, I'll take that question and then come to you. Very good point. Writing Center is actually doing something like that, and they're looking into it. But also, there are a couple of software that we have still available that will send it to that does different things. Maybe not exactly Grammarly, but they does different things. I'll have Angela talk to Provost and office and send an email out of all the resources that we have available. Very good question. Thank you for that. Publisher's book, the desk book, we cannot sell though. Very good. I mean, this is your good heart, but let's think about different. I mean, again, in your case, might be it is important that you have to have that book. But what if that book is created, or what if we think differently? I know it is tough, but give yourself an open mind and think about it a little differently. Like if you're looking at the picture or from this front end, you don't see the projector here, right? If I go back of this, I'll see a projector and I will see actually how is this image being built. If I open that projector up, I'll see exactly how that laser is working inside that projector. So we need to start thinking about how we can look at same picture in 5 different ways and find the best way to look at that picture for our students. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Very good question. So if you go to library.kane.edu, you will see huge amount of resources. We have about, last time I looked and I had to recheck my resources, we have about 200,000 or 200 million books all over the world through the WorldCat system. The books that are owned by Kean University are a little lower, but we have a huge number of the books that you can search. Now, ebooks that we have, if they are available, and yes, go ahead. Right. Right. So we can do a reserve. If it's a physical copy, we can do a reserve for our students. If is it correct, Linda? And I'm gonna pick on you, ask you guys, Linda and Sir. We can do a reserve for our books, but they are held there for 2 hours or something for students, and they come in, they check them out. They cannot take them out of the building, but they use them, or not a building, but they have to come in and do that. Ebooks that we have, definitely we can take a look at those and see how we can make them available. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if it is a book that is coming through a different publisher, so let's say Cengage that is providing an ebook, let's figure out a way that Cengage can provide us a little broader information about that, and that way we can give it to students at a lower price if it's for a whole class. Good. This was, oh, sorry. Yes. Yes. Right. No. I believe so, no. Right? Uh, oh, sorry. So Very good. Thank you, Joy. That was an amazing answer. Yes. We do reserves, so you can take the benefit of reserve. Ebooks, if you're using an ebook from our, not textbook, but there's an ebook that you find and you want to include that ebook, that is a great way to do it. Take whatever course you're teaching, find an ebook that are available on our site, just link them directly to your Blackboard for that week. Uh, I'm not sure if they are required. I don't think so, but Joy will answer better.